Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you some of the books I'm planning on reading out loud to my kids while in COVID-19 quarantine. So as I'm sure everybody knows, life is a little bit different right about now. Here in Minnesota, as well as many other places in the world, we are under the recommendation right now from our government to stay inside and or to stay at home, I should say. So one of the things that I want to do with my kids to help kind of pass the time and to make the most use of our time is to do some read alouds with them. I was doing this more often last year, and then we kind of stopped because my older girls started reading more on their own, and we just never really got back into it. But now that I have more time with them during the day, we are making time to do specific read aloud time. And so I have here 5 books that I want to read out loud to them. We'll see. I'm just going to take this one day at a time. We have no idea when we're going to be going back to school or when they are going to be going back to school. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. I did do a video similar to this last year where I went through books I wanted to read out loud to my kids. And so a couple of these are repeats. I think 2 of them are repeats, and then the other ones are not. So first, the 2 repeats. Here I have by Roald Dahl, The BFG. I've never read this. I know one of my kids has read it in school, and she liked it, but I figured it's worth a reread for her. My other 2 have never read it, and there's a movie adaptation. So if we read through this, we can watch the movie as well together. And I just thought that this would be a really fun one to read with them. The other one that is a repeat from the video I did last year is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, which I still have not read. I was going to say watched. I've seen the movie. This is another one that has a few different movie adaptations, but I've never read this one, and I think all of my kids are of the age to be able to handle this, so I think that this would be great. I guess I should mention, my kids are 10, 8, and 6, the ones that I read aloud to. We typically read aloud during my 2-year-old's nap time because he tends to be more of a distraction during that time. But anyway, so those are the age range of kids that I'm working with. The other one, so now getting into ones that are not repeats from last year. I have The Penderwicks by Jean Birdsall. This is about a group of 4 sisters that go to live in a beautiful estate called Arundel for their summer holidays. I don't really know. I've heard this compared to the Vanderbeekers, but I've heard it's better than the Vanderbeekers, and I have read the Vanderbeekers out loud to the kids already. So I thought that this would be a good pick for them, and it just kind of has that essence of spring about it on the cover. I have no idea if that's what the book is about, but it seems like it would be a good pick. I also picked up The Cricket in Times Square by George Selden. This is one that I didn't really know a whole lot about. I just knew it was a classic, and it is about a mouse that lives at the Times Square subway station, and one day a cricket comes there. He's never seen a cricket before, but the cricket got into somebody's picnic basket, and now he is in New York City, and the street mouse and Harry Cat, his friend, are showing the cricket around. And so I thought that this would be good. Kind of a fun little, my kids really like animal stories, so that seemed like an easy choice. And then the last one that I have here is The Midnight Gang by David Walliams. This is one that I first heard about on the Owl Crate girls, maybe their March TBR, middle grade TBR, something along those lines. One of the girls had mentioned this book, and I went and got it from the library because I heard her mention it. I did not realize how long it was. Sorry about that glare. I did not realize how long it was, but they said when they were talking about this that they compared David Walliams to Roald Dahl, and the premise of this book says that Tom gets hit on the head with a cricket ball and finds himself at a hospital. He's greeted by the most terrifying looking man he's ever seen, and when he thinks it can't get any worse, in walks the wicked matron in charge of the children's ward. Little does Tom know that once he meets his fellow patients, he will embark on the most epic journey of a lifetime. And on the back it says, midnight is a time when most children are fast asleep, except of course for the midnight gang. That is when the adventure just begins. So it just sounded really fun, like, and it would take a while to read through. So this might be a good option too. So those are all of the books that I am currently planning on reading out loud to my kids during this kind of break from school, if you will. Um, a lot of these are straight off of my middle grade March TBR, so I'll just shift them around as need be. But I'm really hoping that I can get some good reading time in with my kids while I'm doing this. We just got done reading The Very, Very Far North by Dan Barrell, and it was good. My kids enjoyed it. We got to read about Dwayne the polar bear and all of his little Arctic friends, and I had them all draw pictures of kind of the environment and all of the little characters in the book. So it was a really fun little experience for us. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that you are making the most of your quarantine time. If you have any book recommendations for me to read out loud to my kids, or book recommendations for my kids, I would love to hear them. If you have read any of these books, I would love to hear your comments about them as well down below. And other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.